Hey guys, Wolvie here. Welcome back to the channel. This is another RWBY video, and this is more information on the RWBY Project, which is mentioned on Twitter, both in Japanese and in English. So with that, the usual disclaimer applies in every video. Any opinion here is mine and mine alone. I will have in the description below the Twitter handles for both the Japanese and the global versions of this newer RWBY Project. So be on the lookout for that, so to speak. So what's exactly going on here? So now we have more information about the new RWBY Project. It is going to be an anime. I thought it was going to be a mobile gacha game, considering that when you take it into account Japanese voice actors, voice actresses, you probably have something along the lines of a potential mobile gacha game, because some use that particular aspect, using certain voice actresses to save some money, or, to help with the budget, that sort of thing. So this image right here is pretty damn badass. And the fact that it's going to be a proper anime, I think it's more like how Japan's going to tackle a name IP like this, IP being intellectual property. So this is going to be one of those things really interesting to see how Japan does it. And then, with Rooster Teeth, doing the English translation. So it comes down to, how's everything going to, pan out? Will it be for the better Rooster Teeth? Will it further sink? That sort of thing. Now, there has been some, he said, she said on certain topics outside of RWBY that's been involved into this particular project. It comes down to, individual opinion on whatever. They may be wrong, doesn't mean that they are not allowed to have an opinion. That's all I'm going to say on that, because it's like, certain things affect people in different ways. Now, we have here this is the Japanese information right up here, and then down here is the English translation. Although it may not be the exact translation, because Google can't get information wrong. So now we're going to look into some of the outfits, and then if you remember from that first image, we're going to zoom in as much as I can. So if you remember that particular outfit, it is in fact Weiss. And what I'm going to say about this particular outfit is it makes her look like somebody who is in the military. And I say that as a massive compliment, because of the way her hair is styled, the hat that she's sporting, over the hairstyle, whatever, you could think of. It's just really amazing, a real treat to see. Now, you get to see here RWBY's other costume. And I do want to point out here that the costumes you see here are based on the volume 1 through 3 content of the show on Rooster Teeth. So with RWBY here, it's one real huge difference between the alternate costume she had in volume 2 versus what you're seeing here. The same thing can be said for Blake, Yang, everybody, even Weiss. So it's a real difference, in sense of their wardrobe. But the fact that they're keeping, the original wardrobe from the volume 1 through 3, that's okay, they're sticking true to RWBY's vision from the original stuff. Now, the one thing I really wasn't expected to see, I'm going to zoom this in even further, is actually Juniper's alternate costume. Because you see here, Ren, for example, although there's not too much of a difference, but it's the difference, it can still be seen in varying aspects. Now, the biggest difference I really wasn't expecting to see at all is actually Pyrrha. Because you see here, on the image on the left, is that her hair is back, looking, the way she is. And then you notice her alternate costume, it's her hair's down. It's just wow. That's all I can really say. That's really well done in the sense of the wardrobe. Then you look at Nora, Nora being Nora. And then Jean, there's not a whole lot to say about Jean, but it's yeah. But all in all, like, these costumes look really, really good. So, and then you notice I just zoomed out of here. That is 100% intentional. So, the costumes here are really good. I mean, I like the fact that the Japanese, people behind this project, decide, okay, let's do something completely different, like from the volume 1 through 3 aspect, where it's like, you have their regular wardrobe, and then for their alternate costumes, like, let's make sure you can really spot the differences, that sort of thing. And the reason why I like it so much is because it's like, from the Rooster Teeth, era, from volume 2, it's like, it's definitely with RWBY for sure, and Weiss to an extent, is that those two really didn't have, like, such, like, different costume when they went on their mission, because it's like, RWBY is like, a couple of minor things here and there, and then just Weiss still being a skirt. So that's the reason why I feel, it's not too much of a change. Although here with Weiss, it's like, they're making it, like, very, very apparent, something covering what she's sporting. Now, with Yang, I mean, I do like the fact it's like, that's like, it's really showing, I'm trying to formulate words and I can't. You could probably catch it by now. Now, the one costume out of all these characters I'm really impressed with is actually Pyrrha. I'm going to zoom back in. Now, the reason why I'm very impressed with Pyrrha, in the sense of, like, how she is, like, outside of the missions versus, like, inside, it's like, it's a real, like, it shows, like, the night and day. If that makes any sense. It's like, you see her, studies, all that stuff, and then you see her with her hair down. It's like, okay, people may start looking at her a different way, that sort of thing. So I'm going to get out of here, and what is my overall take on all this? So I may have hinted it, earlier in this video that there was a bunch of he said, she said on Twitter over this particular project, and I am wording that on purpose because it's like, the he said, she said, subject is like quite, sensitive, and it's like, it would be wrong for me to say anything on the matter. Because it's like, there's certain things I can't relate to, certain things I am able to relate to. So it's like, you could probably get the gist as to why I refuse to speak on the he said, she said on Twitter, because, people are going to feel the way they feel on whatever subject. We don't have to agree with it, but we have to respect it. And if we cannot have a civil conversation on it, it comes down to the side that's unwilling to have the civil conversation. And why they may be seen as the bad guy. So, let me check the timer real quick, because I'm probably going to use some of this, to address certain things. So, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this video here. So, on a personal note, I may have said this in another video. Videos like this for the channel will be sporadic for a while. There has been another change in my work schedule. I'm going to be working longer hours. There may be a time or two where I work 6 days a week. Just hopefully, until the staffing situation at my job gets more under control. So this might become more sporadic, and I just want to make sure I do as much, looking into things as possible before I make a video putting my 2 cents into whatever it is. But in all seriousness, with the RWBY Project, I am looking forward to seeing even more information show up about it in the future. We do know that there is it's coming out later on this year. We simply don't know when. For Volume 9, we still have no clue on that. In the sense of like when it's coming out. I honestly hope, we get a little bit more information, coming along in the future. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, this is who I'm giving attention to. It's Sandy. He says hi. But yeah, when it comes down to RWBY stuff, I'm just going to wait and see what information shows up before I give out an opinion, because it's like, it wouldn't be right for me to jump on things and I don't have all the information available. So, on that very note, I am done with this video. With Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.